Okay, so even when you're putting your cast padding on, be mindful of the position of the ankle, because if the patient is in a plantar flex position but you want them in a 90-degree position, when you put all this on, when you come up like this, you're bunching all this up. That actually is putting pressure on the anterior portion. So it starts with the cast padding as far as your positioning goes, where you want to be.
So what position are we going for right now?
Let's go for a 90. So you put a lot of layers right here. I would probably try to be symmetrical a little bit more, so you know where you need to be. So if you're coming up here, then start coming back down, start rolling, come over that heel, and then just, and then
Kind of want it to
and
look
then just
even.
yeah, you kind of want it to be even, and then just kind of feel those areas and make sure you really feel like you have them padded up good, and it looks like you do. So then you're ready for your layers of the actual casting material. Probably 90% of the time we just do 3 layers. And if a patient wants a color, we usually do the first 2 layers are going to be the white, and then the last layer is going to be their preference. Let me show you a couple of things on this first. Okay, so we want her in a 90-degree position. One of the things that will help in the positioning is not going all the way up at first. So a lot of times if the patient's foot is down like this and we want them in a 90-degree position, I won't take this cast padding or this casting material all the way up to the top, because if I do, then when I push them like this, the material is going to do like that. I'm going to only come up to about here, and Dr. Graff showed this to me one time. So you go up to about here, then this is easier to put in the position. So you ask the patient to go ahead and put their foot in as much of a 90-degree position as you want. When you're putting the cast padding on, you don't want to pull and tug on this, because this is going to make it tight. You just kind of want to lay it on here, and if it's a little crinkled, that's okay at first, because you're going to come back and get it. And when you lay it on, just kind of smooth about. So right here, this is where I'm going to want to start. So see this here? Now just eliminated it. So now when you come across here, I'm going to stay about right here so that I can get the angle of the cast where I want it to be. Now this is only if you've got a patient where they're, you know, we've got a position issue where Dr. Graff's like, or Dr. Pham or any of the doctors are like, one in a certain position, you have to hold it. So if I push this up, it's a lot easier than having all this all the way up. It's going to crinkle everything. But if I'm only doing this much of material, it's a little bit easier for me to get me into whatever position without having too much. The other thing is you don't want to press your hand here. You don't want to hold the heel. You don't want to squeeze here. You really just want to hold the toes if you need to. A lot of times you don't need to, because the patient has their leg off the table. Then you can just have them go ahead and bend the leg. And then that way they don't have to always be super tight. The other thing is just check as it's hardening up. Once it gets about halfway hardened up, then you want to peel this back. So see, you don't have enough material here for this to really bend this back adequately. So that's why I said probably would have gone a little bit more on your stocking net. The other thing is, this is a little bit long here over the 5th toe. So I'll probably pull this back, and this is where this is going to help you pull back if you have a little more of this on here. And then kind of stick your fingers in here just a little bit to kind of pull these edges like that. And then just ask the patient if they can wiggle their toes and feel their toes. This little pinky went to the market. This little So now you can start on your next layer here and go back down, work your way back down. You want to do this layer?
Where did you say you wanted me to start?
So start right here on the top part, come across, leave some padding here, a couple of centimeters of padding here, okay? Because we're going to peel this back over the top, and we want there to be a little bit of a cushion over that edge so it doesn't cut into the patient. Okay, so look at your edges here. You want your edge to be right on that, right? So you want to come across here, and again, so you were rolling it like this. You can do that, but you have more control over it if you pull it out and already have it out, then that way you can lay it where you want to. Versus you rolling it on, you're gonna, not always be where you need to be. But if you go ahead and pull some out, you can kind of get it exactly where you need it. And then if you put your finger in the roll, you can let it just lay here because we don't want any tension on this at all. So you just want to lay it on here and roll it. Here, I'm gonna let you go all the way back down. And then when you get here, since we already have one, just because the angle of the foot's contoured, yep, do that. Just follow it, let it go, and you're gonna, go around. So you have this much material left, so come on over, finish, come up to about right below that line, yep.
Give it a look.
Now work your way back over this heel. Coming back gently, you have to.
Pull it out some more.
Yeah, there you go. It's getting real tacky right now, so.
I can see by the color of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that part comes out. The other thing to do on a cast is you don't want any rough edges on anything. So with your hand, you can get your hand in the water and then rub this down, not putting any pressure on the actual cast, but actually just kind of rubbing. So you have a little bit of some,
Rough edges.
well, it's
Crinkling.
just crinkling right there. So that's all in how you're actually laying it on, like that. So you got a little bit of this. So if that does happen, you can actually do like that, or you can get your scissors, cut it, and then these two pieces will overlap.
Oh.
Same thing here, you kind of did that there. That's okay, over time you'll get to know how to lay it on there. But like the figure eight is good for the casting material versus the Pro 4. Figure eight's good because that helps get this not to have so much bulking up and crinkling. The other thing is go ahead and feel where this is. One of the things is if this is not hard enough and you pull this down, all this material is going to crinkle down. So wait, you got to really wait long enough to where you feel like this is hardened up enough, and it is, you can feel it. Now go ahead and pull your top down, making this come over the edge of the actual cast material. Yep. And then you want to stick your fingers in here to kind of, just basically all you're doing is kind of peeling up just a little bit, not a whole lot. You don't have to be aggressive with it because you don't want the leg.
One little thing is you got your uniform on the cast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be careful because the cast will stick to you.
And not get it out.
Yeah, that's good there. Yeah. You don't want to be too aggressive with that. And all you're doing is you're at the same time that you're putting your fingers in here, use your thumb in the flesh of your palm of your hand to pull back up. And then that way you kind of just get a little bit of a lip on there so that that doesn't dig into the skin. So you're pulling up to keep this from wrinkling down, but you're also pulling this top out just a tad. Do you want to